Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all again. So yeah, we're gonna just be working on some, I don't know, random stuff today. I've got some things queued up that I want to handle. Basically this to-do list is everything that I want to do prior to having a playtest build ready. So again, my goal for this week is to get the game into a state where I have a playtest build. That doesn't mean the playtest build will be available, but I just want to have it like in a state where I could release it as a playtest, so that way I can focus my next bit of effort on actually distributing that playtest. So anyway, that's kind of what we're working towards. So there's going to be a lot of odds and ends things on the streams here to get that stuff in place. We may take a detour and add some new content as well. I think the number of artifacts is kind of low, and I would like to add some more enchantments as well. So yeah, but anyway, I want to remind everyone that Gunforge is available for sale. It's a 2D roguelite shooter with a lot of goofy humor. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. It's linked in the description. I've also got my new Udemy course. This one is the online cooperative multiplayer course, which will teach you all the stuff you need to know about making cooperative online multiplayer games in Godot, using remote procedure calls, multiplayer spawner, multiplayer synchronizer, all that good stuff. I also have other Udemy courses covering Godot if you're not interested in multiplayer. All of those are linked below in the description, so definitely check those out. And I appreciate all the support. So let's get right into it. What have I done? I don't remember what I did on the stream yesterday. I did do a bunch of work on the game off stream yesterday, mostly related to the drag and drop of the cards, but also fixing some various issues with the game. If this will load, let's see if it loads. So one thing that I fixed is, it used to be the case that the fog of war could partially obscure the roads sometimes. So I fixed that by just adding another reveal point midway through the road. So previously the fog of war would be revealed by placing a reveal point on the node that is revealed. But if the roads are long enough, like in this case here, that would not, create a fully revealed path. So just by adding another point midway through, that creates a nice corridor of revealed fog so that you can see your character properly. Here's my inventory. So we worked on this yesterday with the inventory automatically reconfiguring itself in accordance with how the cards are being dragged. Another change I made is that when you drag a card, it's now centered on your mouse position. Previously, it would be centered around the top left corner of the card, which felt weird. But now the card is going to gravitate toward the center of your mouse, which just feels a little bit nicer, generally speaking. What else did I did a bunch of light refactoring to some systems that don't have any visible changes, but make my life a little bit easier as a developer. So yeah, that's basically everything that's going on here. And yeah, the next thing I want to do is, I've had this bug in my backlog here for a while. This paralysis debuff does not stack or refresh, just duplicates. So I'm going to want to test the paralysis debuff stacking. I think what I'll do with paralysis is that paralysis lasts a certain number of turns. So what I'll do probably is, I have two options. I can make the paralysis add a duration when it gets stacked, or I can just replace the paralysis stacks with the higher number. So I think I'll probably just replace it with the higher number. Or maybe, I could just do a paralysis build. Maybe I'll make it, let's do the more fun thing actually. Let's just make it add it to the paralysis duration. I also just realized one other thing before I say hello to everyone. Also check if paralysis can target exhausted enemies. I don't want paralysis to target anything that can't act, I don't think. So anyway, let's get right into it. Hello, cool modder Jaden, welcome back. Good morning, Emerson, good to see you. Rookie Tookie, hello, hello. Good morning, Potril, welcome back. Repugnant, great to see you again. Sam Studio, hello, welcome to the stream. How long has this game taken to get to this point? I've been working on it since March. So yeah, however many months that is. Hello, Jorgen. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's check the paralysis stuff. So how am I actually going to test the paralysis? That's a good question. Let's do 2. I'm just going to give the skeleton paralysis. Okay. So let's see how it works. Paralysis. Do I want to do a custom filter? Query board with final filter. Well, let's see. Okay. So I've got a skeleton that applies 2 turns of paralysis. So what this is going to do is, I think this is just going to apply multiple paralysis to the enemy. Let's take a look. We're going to go ahead and skip. Go here. Okay, so prisoner. So let's just go ahead and let this execute. And that applies paralysis. So now it's got paralyzed 3 times. I think what I want to do is I just want to stack this. So let's do that. Hello, Diego. Welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Hello, Hayden Studio. Welcome back. Just got back from tennis. Super sweaty. Ew. No. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Hello, Snupbill. Welcome, welcome. With the message, yummers. Always appreciate the yummers. My cat is being super distracting in the other room. Hopefully that ends soon. Hello, Craig. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you again. Mint25 Pop, welcome to the stream. Ruin Star, welcome back. Interesting. Hello. Wait. Are you Cat Hugger? You're Cat Hugger, right? I'm playing Eastward right now. Man, the art is so good. Look at the art of my game. Eastward, huh? I'll have to take a look at that. Hello, Max Solis, welcome. Define Dottie, good to see you again. Hello, Yeet. Yeah. I stole something from Adam yesterday for the stream title, and now I'm using Jackie Daytona's signature message. So we'll see when Jackie Daytona gets here. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I recognize the profile picture. Welcome back. Interesting. Anwar, hello. All right. So yeah, we want this paralyzed to stack. So let's take a look at this. Add debuff. Card buff. Paralysis debuff. Let's do this. Public virtual bool can stack to false. Public override bool can stack. Oh my gosh! Copilot, stop! Can stack to true. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Okay, so we got can stack to true. So now when we apply this, where is this? So add debuff, active buffs.add. So let's do this. Private void. We'll do stack buff. So we'll do this. Actually, let me think. How do I want to do this? If debuff, add debuff. It shouldn't be called add debuff. This should be called add buff. I mean, I really shouldn't call these buffs. I probably should call these like conditions or something, but that's okay. Card buff removed, card buff removed, or buff added. I renamed this earlier, but I didn't change all the naming in here. So we'll fix that while we're in here. Okay. Active buffs. So if buff.can stack and active buffs. Is this a list? Yeah. Var active buff index is equal to active buffs find index. D.getType is equal to buff.getType. If active buff index so I'm gonna have to figure out how to modify the existing buff. That's all right. Let's see. So we'll just get rid of that for now. Else active buffs.add emit signal card buff added. So there's going to be an issue here. Update buff visuals. So yeah, I think this is fine. Existing buff, active buffs index. There's a logical problem in here. Do I want to do this? Actually, let's do this. We'll do a return in here. Move this down. Okay, that'll work. So now we got to figure out how to actually extend this. We've got this can expire, can stack, remaining duration. What I'll do is I'll do this. Public void add duration, int duration, remaining duration plus equals duration. I think that's what I can do. And then in here, existing buff dot add duration. I think that's right. Okay, let's see what happens. What are the goals for today? Yeah, today I'm just going through my backlog, a bunch of odds and ends things, but yeah, the goal for the week is to get a playtest build ready. Not to publish the playtest build, but to have the build ready so I can publish it in the near future. So that's kind of like the overarching goal for this week. Hello, RZ. Welcome, welcome. Also, welcome to the stream. I apologize, I don't know how to say your name, but welcome, welcome. All right, let's see if that applies. Now, the skeleton should apply 6 stacks of... never mind. Buff added on card, buff removed. Cool. Oh, this needs to be a card buff removed. Okay. I think that's right. All right, now let's try it. Now let's try it. We'll see what happens. And of course, there's no combat. Actually, I can do this. I can regenerate the map with F9. Okay. Let's put the skeleton here. When the skeleton executes... Oh, it applied. Okay, so that applied that, but the problem is, oh, it's because I've got, yeah, it's targeting a random enemy every time, so that makes sense. But yeah, it did stack, so paralyzed, 4 turns remaining. 1 turn remaining. So critical chance increased by 10%. That should probably stack as well. I mean, it's not as important for that to stack because the problem with the paralysis stacking is that it doesn't, if it stack, or if you apply 2 turns of paralysis but 3 separate times, they all count down at the same time, which means that you're basically just getting 2 turns of paralysis. So if you apply paralysis multiple times to the same minion, it will not give you any additional benefit. But now they can stack. With the critical chance here, it'd be nice just from a visual standpoint to stack that. But you, like, even though these aren't stacked and they're just individual line items here, you still get the benefit out of it, right? So there's still a 20% crit chance because each of these is adding 10. So those are already stacking in a way, they're just not grouped visually speaking. So I think that's okay. That'll be a nice to have that I can do later, but that's going to be a little bit trickier to stack because these could have different execution counts, right? So this one could be for 3 turns and this one could be for 1 turn. And so stacking those doesn't necessarily make sense, especially if they're different values, right? So this could be 15% for 3 turns and this could be 10% for 1 turn. In that case, how do I even stack them, right? So I may actually end up just keeping those separate, but I think it's okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is in that paralysis, I want it to not target get or query targets. So this final filter, what I need to do is I need to figure out if the card is already affected by exhaust at least. Let me think. I don't know where this is. Where is this happening? Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Let's create buff container. Let's do this. Oops. Has, wait a minute. What is this for? Paralysis debuff. Okay, so has execution disabling debuff. What's the difference? Uh-oh. I'm confused now. Has execution disabling debuff. Has disabling debuff. Where's this used? Oh, I see. Let's rename this to has turn disabling debuff. We're going to do public bool has execution disabling debuff. Should execute abilities. I don't really like that. Let's do this. Has permanent execution disabling debuff. Active buffs dot any. Can expire. So if it can't expire and can execute turn, should hide turn progress. What? Okay. Let's rename this to has turn disabling debuff. And then in here, base card. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So basically what I wanted to do there is because in here now, what I'll do is I'll say dot where target, I think this is target dot buff container dot has permanent, not has permanent disabling debuff to array. Okay. So that'll just prevent the paralysis from targeting something that has been permanently disabled. But also, I need to do this for the mischance debuff here. Simple mischance. Yeah, and here. Shoot, this is not gonna work. This dot limit is equal to limit. Okay. Gonna get rid of query options dot limit because I need to do an extra filter in here. Possible targets dot take limit. Also, I should probably, I just realized that I probably didn't do this correctly. To a yeah, this is not random either. Paralysis debuff. Where is it? Simple paralysis. Order by, I need this order by in here. Okay, that should work. So yeah, we're just gonna, for quality of life purposes, not target anything that is permanently disabled. So we can test this now. If I go to my game debug, override player board dimensions, turn on the training dummy, and generate test map. Okay. What was that board from Obsidian app? Is that a plugin? Yeah, Kanban community plugin. Are the trails coming behind your character when you move and an animation or 2D particle node? It's particle node. Hello, Daisuke, welcome back. Hello, Eric Grove. Welcome, welcome. Char Tup, welcome back. Or no, not welcome back. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I'm using the Godot engine. Their new pricing update stinks. What's wrong with it? Hello, Julio. Welcome. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Ali, welcome, welcome. You guys like the new banner? What? How do I do this? There. Do you like the new banner? It's a little bit nicer, I think. They finally made a free version of Rider. I have a license for Rider, but it's one of those, like, you get the perpetual fallback license, which means you don't get any of the new updates. Okay, so we're going to try this now. So that applies paralyzed, and this should apply blinded, right? But this guy is just going to be permanently paralyzed, I think. Yeah. Okay. Now blinded. Does blinded need to stack? I'm gonna have to figure out how to actually stack these things. But that seems to be okay. Now what I want to do is, let me do this. Game debug. Test player artifacts. Oops. Test player artifacts enabled. These should be grouped together. Is test player artifacts oh, this is going to be called enable. Okay. Project settings. Enable test player artifacts. This is a bool add. And then we'll do test player artifacts. This has to be a packed string array add. So we'll do this, add this, basilisk I. Okay, now I need to actually implement that. So let's go to run manager. Is player card, is test player cards enabled. If game debug dot is test player artifacts enabled. For artifact ID, artifact registry, add artifact. Okay. So just adding a bunch of debug tools for myself so it's a little bit easier. So now if I run the game, I should see that basilisk I in my artifact list here. Hopefully anyway. Boom, there it is. So now what I want to see is that neither the blind nor the paralysis gets applied to this guy because he's exhausted. So let's see if that works. Yep, no paralysis there. And let's make sure that blind is also not being applied. No blind. Cool. All right, that works great. So let's turn off enabled player test artifacts, enabled test player cards, override player board dimensions, turn off the training dummy, turn off generate test map. Okay. All right. So I've just got a bunch of debug things. Now, the one thing that I want to do is let's stage all of these except for the Skeleton Warrior, because I don't want to change the Skeleton Warrior's ability. Just make sure I didn't change anything else inadvertently. Okay. Okay. Make paralysis stack. Done. Banner looks cool, thank you. Haven't watched in a while, the map looks different. Is there a fog of war? Yes, there is a fog of war, yeah. So the way it works, so I'll give a quick introduction for anyone that's new here about the game. So this game is a collectible card game, grid inventory management auto battler with necromancy, alchemy, and medieval science themes, where the hook of the game is that you can alchemize cards together, which means that you can take cards in your inventory, merge them into an alchemy pot, and you will get an outcome that has some of the abilities of all of the inputs. So this is an alchemy here, which we can actually do. And there's a fog of war, so you can by default see up to 3 nodes away from your current position. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And as you move, more of the map is going to be revealed. So there's a lot of other nodes out here that you cannot yet see. And so let's just go into the combat here. Basically, you'll just go through the map, collect your upgrades, and after a certain wanted level increase, which is not going to be called a wanted level, I haven't yet decided what to call it, but every node you visit increases your wanted level. That's what that number is, that 0.66 there. And when this wanted level gets up to a certain value, you will be thrust into a boss fight automatically. So it's basically you just want to gather as much power as you can before that boss fight arrives. Okay, so here's a booster. Let's get some alchemical cards. We've got an embalming fluid. We've got a mushroom. We've got the alembic. Let's go into alchemy now. So now what I can do is I can take, like the mushroom, for instance, which has 2 poison and a 25% crit chance. I can alchemize that with a skeleton, throw those in the pot, and what I get is now I have a skeleton that deals 8 damage and applies 2 poison, but in some cases, I may also inherit the crit chance, but it appears that I've lost the crit chance through that alchemy operation. But the nice thing is that this is now a 1/1 card that deals damage and applies poison with a slightly higher turn cooldown. So this is a little bit more space efficient there. So anyway, that's the gist of the game. And you can see that more of the map has now been revealed as I'm walking through. So that's the idea. That's the idea. Anyway, I gotta catch up on chat here. My DOT Ultimate license has gone up $50. Oof. Easy on the eyes. Awesome. Doing great. 5 days in a row into the new game engine. Oh, 5 days into the new game engine. I've got a white rectangle displayed correctly on a black screen. Nice. That is a good start. I mean, if you're making your own engine or working with a new engine, just getting something to work is very exciting. Going crazy. Implementing auth in your desktop app. Loaded this stream up before I lost my sanity. Yeah, auth is very tricky. Hello, Brian McCord. Welcome. Good morning to you as well. Good morning, Andrew. Hello, Nomix. Welcome back. The art and polish is already looking good. Thank you, Peepo G. Very much appreciate that. Game has changed so much in 1 week. Yeah, I'm trying. Fog of War looking really cool. I like the Fog of War a lot. It still allows you to make some strategic decisions without giving you all the options at once. The problem, so when I made the map bigger, the problem I was trying to solve is that I didn't want players to just stay at the start until they like min-maxed their path through the board. So by adding a Fog of War, you still can plan several moves in ahead, but there's still going to be things that change as the Fog of War gets revealed. So I think it's just much more engaging. Hello, Jackie Daytona. Welcome. This stream title is in honor of you, so welcome back. Is there a way to easily reference node using global percent name when it's in a different root? No. No, you can't. Unique names don't work globally. They only work in the scene. So yeah, if you need to reference a node, you need to store it in a different way. How long have I been working on this? Since March. Is this the same game of the jam? No. Feels more strategic. I remember you just made a huge loop gathering resources, then you were OP in battle. Yeah. Fog of War effect looks great. Thank you. Hello, Adam. Welcome back. Good morning. Always good to see you. I will be adding audio soon, Kun Aguero. I presume that's just Shader choosing what to show. Yeah, the way that it works is that, so basically, I've got this fog reveal image, which is just a gradient going from white to transparent. It's a radial gradient. And what happens is this gets drawn on a black texture such that this transparency actually becomes grayscale, as you go out to black. And that determines, so then I have a texture that's this color, this dark color here, right? But with holes punched out where these gradients are drawn. That's basically how it works. That UI is so smooth. Thank you, Corkscrew. Thank you. Neozoid, welcome back. Great to see you. Why is it called Fog of War? I think that's just, that's a term that's much older than game development, I think. It's an actual term referring to actual battles. So yeah, I think that was just a term that was co-opted by game developers to indicate something you can't see yet. Fog of War was sometimes creates islands of fog in the map if the nodes are far apart. Yeah, I actually fixed that. Although the idea of making those hidden secrets is a good idea. Yeah, I'd have to think about that. But that's a good idea, Wuius. I expect a royalty payment of 3 McDoubles. Okay. Crazy how the game clicked at some point and then it just kept getting better visually. Yeah, it really is. Peering into the darkness and darkness looking back. Also love the outline of the Fog of War. Thank you. Yeah. Hello, Rin. Always great to see you. Welcome back. My first exposure to Fog of War comes from Command & Conquer in the 90s. Yeah. Yeah. It's obviously a very popular thing in RTS games. I mean, really, when you think about it, like, any kind of game that has combat has some kind of Fog of War. Like, even if you think of like a arcade kind of twitch shooter like Call of Duty, the Fog of War is not explicit, but it's implicit in the fact that you're in a first-person view and you can't see through buildings, at least if you're not cheating, right? So there's still a Fog of War in there in terms of like, you don't know what's on the other side of a building, your sight lines are blocked. But when you've got a top-down view like an RTS, obviously you can see everything by default, so you need to have like an explicit Fog of War that hides things from you, Anyway. So I've got a bunch of other things. So I need to improve the visuals of the alchemy screen because right now it looks like you can take all of the cards that you alchemize, but that's not the case. So I need to figure out what to do about that. That might be an interesting thing to work on, actually. Let me think. How would I do that? I think I would probably just darken the cards. I need to improve the clarity of the resurrection. Oh, I need to add... improve UX of speed controls. Do I want to do a little bit of a tutorial for the playtest? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. I'm going to change... I want to add some more enchants. I currently don't have that many enchants. Let's see. Critical chance, critical multiplier. Echo enchant, poison enchant. Actually, let me think. I do want to change this. Modify global status. I actually don't know how this works. Hold on a second. I don't know what to do about that enchant. Okay, I need some more enchantment ideas, though. Oh, man. I need some enchant ideas. If anyone has enchantment ideas. Enchantments are basically just like extra things you can add to a card to increase its power. I don't really want to do just adding new abilities to the card, but... So you could change the shape of the PNG sprite to get a different fog styles and gradients? Yeah, you could, for sure. The word fog, but not the exact phrase in reference to uncertainty in war, was introduced by the Prussian military analyst Karl von Clausewitz in his posthumously published book, Vom Krieg, 1832, the English translation of which was published as On War, 1873. Interesting. Enchantment. So enchantments come from the enchantment event. They're just like things that you can add to the card. So I think I actually have this set up. Let me see if this works. How about a rotate ability? Could be fun to rotate the shapes a bit. That would be fun. Oh, that's alchemy. I think it's enchant 4? I don't remember. So this is the enchant here, and when you place cards in the enchantment, you can click on one of the tentacles. Each tentacle has a different enchant. So this one is Echo, this one is Increased Critical Multiplier, Increased Critical Chance. Godot really needs an easier way to make custom spring tweens. Change the stiffness. They literally make or break the game feel for me. Yeah. I mean, you can make custom tweens with your own tween curves. So maybe you could build up like a tween library of the springs that you want. Rotate spell. When minion dies, minion revives with 50% health and or strength. That's a good one. It's just that my cards don't have individual health. It's the board that has health. Make enemies take 25% more damage. Mirror makes enemy take 20% of the damage that you deal to it. Oh, interesting. Okay. A game I once played had different poison effects. Poison equals same damage over time. Deadly poison, increasingly more damage over time. Toxin, damage every time the player makes a move. Oh, interesting. Gain 25% strength of previous attack. That's a good one. I should have planned this out better. Block or armor something to absorb damage. Yeah, so I could do that. I could make it so that some enchants just add new abilities to the card. So it could add poison, it could add fire, it could add shielding. Actually, you know what would be interesting? An enchant that converts all damage to shield. How would I do that? Status component applies status. Interesting. I could do that. Make an enchantment that sets HP to 1 but adds extra crit and crit chance. That's a good one. Gain 1 extra slot on the board. Maybe something like a swarm enchantment. Each card that also has an enchantment gets a massive buff depending on how many other cards also have it. Oh, yeah. Do you have a freeze or stone effect? Something that stops enemy cards from doing anything? Yes, I do, yeah. It's called Paralysis. Paralysis. I'm actually kind of interested in converting all damage to shielding. Hello, Infinity01, welcome back. I'm gonna have to think about these a little bit more, I think. I don't think I'm prepared to do that exactly, but I'm gonna start writing these down. Oops. Oh no, this is going wild. This is going wild. Why is this happening? Okay, that's fine. Oops. So 1 enchant could be convert all damage to shield. I wonder if other conversions could be interesting, like convert all fire to healing. Let's see. Swarm enchantment. Make adjacent. Execute together or something. I'm thinking swarm could be interesting because the way I'm thinking it could work is that if you've got one card with swarm and another card with swarm and they have different turn cooldowns, let's say one is 5 and one is 10, I can make it so that anytime one card with swarm activates, it triggers all the other ones. So you just essentially get extra executions. That would be interesting. Okay. That will be fine for now, though. I want to change this poison enchant, actually. So we'll have to try this. I don't think I want this modify global status. I think I just want to change this to modify status. Like that. I think that will work. So let's try this. Project. Enable test player cards, and then let me go to my enchant container. What? Ah, here it is. Let's turn up the poison enchant a lot. All right, let's see what happens. Switch enchantment with enemy. Well, enemies don't have enchantments yet, but maybe they will. Oil equals more damage from fire effects. That's a good one. Swarm would be a good combo with rats, crows, or spiders. Just flood the board with small guys that are monstrous when together. Yeah, that's a good one. Hello, Nepal V. Welcome. Great to see you. Just upgrade whatever. It doesn't matter. Boom. Upgrade the squid, I guess. So enchant card. So here, all poison applied is increased by 1. So now this should be applying 2 poison when it first runs. I'm just going to skip this. Let's see if this applies 2 poison. Yeah, applied 2. Very nice. Cool. All right, that is working. So make poison enchant non-global. Good. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. Uh-oh. Go up. Thank you. I don't really have any good ideas for how to improve the visuals of the alchemy or to make the resurrection clearer. I still need to add tiered versions of events. Let me do this. Modify. Increase wanted level gain. All right, tell you what, let's do something fun. Let's make some new cards, I guess. Do you have plans to add a combat log to know how things went down? Yes, that's not going to be in the playtest version, but I do want to add that. I think I actually have it written down. Combat log, yeah, here. Have you ever played a game you've been hyped for so long, which ends up flopping so hard that it makes you pessimistic about gaming? When I was younger, yeah. When I was younger, I used to get on hype trains all the time. I think the most notable example of that was No Man's Sky. Well, that game was marketed not very honestly anyway, but now I'm just kind of like content to just find the gems without paying. I don't pay much attention to like video game news anymore. I don't know what games are coming out or when. I'll just wait for them to come out and then I'll see what people are saying about it. Could also be a similar variant of Swarm called something else that makes it so it also applies to enemies. If all yours have an attack, so do enemies that have it. Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda was what I played. Oof. Starfield still hurts. Yeah, Starfield is a good candidate. Lich or leech card. Ooh, that's a good idea. Should I do a leech? Do I have a leech? Yeah, I do. Well, we got to vote for leech, so let's do a leech. I think obviously the leech is probably going to have to do lifesteal. Do I have any lifesteal already? I have lifesteal. I just don't know if I have it on the player. Oh, I do. Syringe does lifesteal. So maybe the leech can do poison and lifesteal as well. Might want to look into a board game called Doomlings. It has lots of very creative card effects you could take inspiration from. BG3, that was disappointing. You got to be in like the tiny minority of people that think Baldur's Gate 3 is disappointing. I think we talked about this though. I think, yeah. What was your objection to it? It just didn't fit into the Baldur's Gate universe very well or something? Leech could also leech shield. Bleed and lifesteal. Yeah, I don't have a bleed effect. Do I? I don't think so. No. Although bleed would be an interesting one. I actually have a good idea for what bleed would do. Do I have it written down? Bleed status effects take damage every time the board attacks. Or all damage is buffed by the bleed amount. Subtract. All damage is buffed by the bleed amount. Oh, wait, that wouldn't work, would it? Yeah, I have a bleed status effect. Probably not going to add that just yet. Because again, we're trying to work toward the playtest, so any new content I add would just be stuff, remixes of stuff that I already have in the game. Necromancer grid, assets, card, background, 2x1. Save this. Card, new file, new folder, I mean leech. Save it in here. Okay, let's try it out. I'm just gonna get the colors working first. This needs to be moved up. That looks kind of gross. Oops. I don't really want to extend this middle part because it's a little bit awkward looking. I guess that looks all right. So the idea of the leech is that it would have, actually, it would have like teeth. Very disgusting. Wonder if I should make the teeth go all the way up. Do I want to do that? Let's see. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Going to be a little bit difficult, I think. But we'll figure it out. Can probably increase the depth there. I feel like this side is not good. Let's get rid of this. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. Well, that looks pretty nasty. I think this is bothering me a little bit, the mouth. I might have to redo this, but maybe not. If I can make it look sufficiently disgusting, it'll be fine. I don't know, let's see, let's catch up on the chat. To make it clear that you can only take one of the cards after alchemizing, you can make it so that when you hover over a card, the other options shake around like they're going to be destroyed. Oh, that's a good one, yeah. Was not a BG game. Yeah, see, me coming from not playing the other Baldur's Gate games, I loved it, so, yeah. Is there an enchantment that could pierce shields? Oh, there is not. That's a good one, though. What would be the difference between bleed and poison? So poison would just do damage over time. I think bleed, what would happen is that it would deal damage either every time an enemy card executes, or I'm thinking of it as like maybe a damage bank where bleed just increases the next amount of damage you do by that amount. So when I say damage, that's a very specific thing in this game. Damage is basically physical damage. It's damage is a damage type. Poison is a damage type. Fire is a damage type, right? But when I say just damage, I don't mean anything that hurts the enemy. I'm specifically talking about like physical damage. So when I have bleed, what I'm thinking is that, let's say you apply 10 stacks of bleed to an enemy, the next damage that gets applied, the next physical damage that gets applied would have the 10 added to it. That's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. Either that or the enemy would just take the amount of bleed damage every time they execute. So, any opinions on that? Certainly out of scope, but combining effects would be neat. Like, if you're bleeding and fire is applied, it cauterizes the wound, or if you bleed while poisoned, it slowly decreases the poison amount. Yeah. I've actually been playing this game with my friend called the Spell Brigade, which is just like a Vampire Survivors clone kind of thing. But they have an interesting elemental system where, you know, if you stack multiple different element types together on one ability, it creates a new element type. So that's very interesting for sure. Leech, I think of Sandward from Doom. Yeah, basically, yeah. Hello, Dragon Apple. Welcome back. Great to see you. Can you resurrect a defeated enemy as a minion you control in your inventory? No, but I want to add that. I want to give the player a way to acquire enemy cards. And actually, I was thinking about it. There's nothing preventing me from also adding the ability to play as the villagers in the campaign. Like, all the systems are basically the same. It would just be a matter of swapping which cards you can get and which cards you fight. So that might be an interesting, like, part of the full game, is like you could play the campaign as the villagers instead of as the necromancer. And you would fight the necromancer's cards. So I thought that would be interesting. We'll see. Give him teeths. Yeah. 1-bit jam that I can only make a game with 2 colors. Only wish me luck. Yeah, good luck. That sounds fun. It'll make the game hard to see overall. Some blood on the ground under the mouth. Leeches and the aforementioned Swarm Enchantment sound like it could be a good combo. Yeah. Playing Divinity BG3 after Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 is pure bliss. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I agree. Maybe a blood drop somewhere on the mouth, or is that overused on cards? It's not that it's overused, it's just that I don't know if I have the room to do it. So, like, I have basically this amount of space here. And I don't know how effective I'm going to be at making it look like blood. You know what I mean? I don't know about the mouth. I'm going to look up a leech mouth. I'm not going to put it on stream just in case anyone's a little bit squeamish about that kind of thing. So leeches have like multiple rows of teeth. So maybe what I need to do is something like that. So let's do this. I don't know if I have enough room to do that either. Let's do this. The inner teeth need to be darker. Let me try something else here. I don't want to make it look like perfect, but... well, let's just see how this looks. It's a little bit too symmetrical, but it definitely works. Oops. What do I keep doing? I don't know what button I'm hitting that's making that happen. Okay. Oops. I actually don't know. Maybe I don't need to place... okay. I think this is looking better. Oh, yeah. The power of reference images. That's not going to work, though. That's okay. Let's cheat a little bit. So I want to put a color in here just to fill in some of the space. Maybe I do. I think it looks better. Put many hours into it. Secret ending: Necromancer runs for Necromancer runs for mayor and wins. Yeah. Play as Necromancer. Run 2. Play as villagers against your Necromancers from run 1. That would be cool. Yeah. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. The leech's body is a little turd-shaped. Well, I mean, I think leeches are not shaped pleasantly. There may be too much going on here. I think that's okay. I don't know. Kind of looks like a dune worm, and I'm for it, yeah. Make the mouth bigger so you can add a second row of teeth. I don't think I'm going to have room for that, even if I do, because I can only extend this up and down by 1 pixel. I think it's okay. Who would even know that leeches have rows of teeth? Yeah. Top teeth, 1 to the right, and then... No, I don't want equal spacing, no. It's got to look like it's a collection of a lot of teeth. Definitely looks disgusting. 1 tooth without an orange bit in the bottom right corner. Oh, I see. Here. Oh yeah, that'll work. Good suggestion. Actually, here's a question. Would it look good if some of these were green? Ooh, yeah, I think that works. Might also be cool. There's a kind of thing that allowed you to swap a card with an enemy one. That's a cool one. I like the tail flip that way now. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's working. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, I might be in quit while I'm ahead territory here, like I usually say. Would it be helpful to add... I'm just messing around now. I think it's okay. I don't really like this section. Oops. I think that's better. Mm-hmm. Enchant idea, morale boost. If the player's health is below the enemy's health by X amount, deal Y increased damage. Player's health is below the enemy's health by X amount, deal Y increased damage. Oh yeah, okay, I gotcha. The green teeth would be good too to indicate poison, yeah. Are you sharing any info on what kind of game this is? Yeah, it's a collectible card game, grid inventory management auto battler with necromancy, alchemy, and medieval science themes, where the hook of the game is that you can alchemize cards together, which means that you can combine the abilities of different cards into a single output with the abilities of both. Obviously, you know, for stream reasons, I can't just go through a run of the game every time the question comes up, but yeah, if you stick around the streams long enough, I usually show off the game with some frequency. But welcome to the stream, Johan. Can you make a game like Helldivers 2 and Godot, or does it need more updates? Probably not. Probably not. Firebelly just casually making us all even more scared of leeches now. Yeah, I think it looks fine. I think it's fine. I think we're good. Okay. Leech. Let's go ahead and add it to the game. Oops. Create new card resource. Leech. Leech. Flavor text. We'll do flavor text later. Alternate art dimensions. 2x1. Turn cooldown. We'll give it a low-ish turn cooldown. 8. Tags. Minion. Alchemical. Ritual. Cool. Let's create the leech card now. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna do new life steal 4. New poison. Oh, simple poison. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Cue elevator speech, yeah. I heard GTA 6 is made in Godot and Half-Life 3, yeah. Godot is still a very scrappy engine. I don't think you're going to be able to make anything sophisticated like Helldivers or anything else in it. Deal 4 damage and heal for the damage dealt. Apply 4 poison. Nice. It looks pretty good in game, actually. Cool. Let's just go ahead and give it a look. Nice. I'm not taking any damage because the prisoner has a chance to miss, and I guess he just missed every time. What an amateur. That looks so bad. I need to redo that. Why is this board so big? I gotta work on the balance here. That's not good. Okay, but the leech works, so that's good. Add leech. The leech is done. You've gotten really fast at describing your game now. Locked and loaded with that answer. Yeah, that's a great pitch, actually, despite it sounding insane. I understood it completely, I think. Awesome, yeah. I think it is a decent pitch for sure, but we'll have a playtest coming up hopefully in a few short weeks. So if you're interested, keep an eye out on the channel. Did I see Battlefields is going to use Godot for community editor? Yes, yes, indeed. Games from Scratch did a video on it. 69 HP, nice. Cool. All right, give me a 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll continue on. I got to figure out something to work on. Hopefully it can be productive, but yeah, a lot of this stuff is just going to be quite involved, the stuff that I have remaining. Maybe we'll do a playthrough. I want to increase the wanted level gain, and I'll do a playthrough and see how that feels. I also want to change, maybe I'll change the combat scaling. So maybe we'll do some balancing, and then I'll do a playthrough so that anyone who's interested in the game can see how the game plays. And I need to do that work anyway. So give me 3 minutes. When I come back, I'll work on some balancing, and then we can, yeah, well, that's it. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Hello, your favorite niche internet e-celeb is back. Suggestion, double click or middle mouse button to put a card in the inventory. Drag and drop is too slow for people. Yeah. I'm going to add quality of life. That may actually be included in the playtest. Middle click is actually an interesting one. I was thinking like shift click or something, but yeah, middle click to quickly swap cards around is a great idea. Hello, cat. Is it time for you to bug me? Is it time for you to bug me yet again? Yep. You can't just sleep for 2 hours, huh? You have to get up. Yeah, you have to get up. Hi. Okay, let's do some gameplay testing. So let's do this. Run map generator. I always forget where the combat encounters. I think it's in seeded run. Yeah, generate combat encounters. Generate combat configuration. Distance from start. So this minimum distance, node distance offset. Get minimum distance to node. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Distance from start times difficulty increment. Let's turn this difficulty increment down to 6. So basically the way my difficulty scaling works is it's very, very basic. I just have a number that represents the difficulty and everything is based around that number. And it's very amorphous. But, so I'm going to turn that difficulty down and then I want to change the wanted level increase. So where is that happening? Generate wanted levels. So we're doing a base of 0.5 with a normal distribution of 0.25. My cat just sneezed on my arm. Thank you very much. Okay, go. You're being annoying. Go, go, go. Okay. Let's do this. We'll keep it at 0.5, but we're going to increase the standard deviation to 0.5. So that will create a wider range of wanted levels which should generally mean that you get to the boss quicker. So yeah, I think that we'll try those 2 tweaks and we'll see what happens. I think the player might feel a bit nicer to control if they jolted side to side in each leg, a bit like a walking animation, though I guess is more personal preference. Yeah, that's actually something that I want to add. Player animation. I want to add a player idle animation and a player walk animation for the traversal. So that's definitely in the plans. 0.99 booster, 1.31 enchant. Let's go here. Okay, we've got a Corvid. We've got a oh, wait, hold on. I gotta turn this so I don't have the test cards. Start with what the play testers are going to start with, which is 2 skeletons. So it's like you're emerging from wherever you came from with just a handful of skeletons. 1.47 artifact. It's cheaper to go this way, but I kind of want the artifact, so let's do that. Okay, so we got the auto battler combat coming in. We'll just watch these guys do their work. Cat down. Go to here. Do that. Increase board size. Now the artifact here. Artifacts are just basically, they're just passive upgrades. Ooh. 4 damage after each successful combat. This damage is applied to any minion if it's the only minion on the board. Start each combat with 25% health. 50% lifesteal, but lose 5% of max health every turn during combat. I think I'll take the Vampire Fangs. That seems good to me. Upgrade card. Just upgrade one of the Skeletrons. Okay. Now there's a shop here. Do I want to visit the shop? I've got only 12, and that's a 1.39 increase. So this is wrong. I don't know why that's broken. Run progress eyes are broken. Some remain closed when they shouldn't. This is a bug. But yeah, so basically there's a wanted level, which I'm not going to call a wanted level, but when that fills up, you'll get put into a boss fight automatically. And that's what these little numbers in green here are. I don't have anything to alchemize either, so I need booster cards. There's a booster there, booster there. Or I can just keep pressing into the fog of war. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I'm like, why am I taking so much damage? The vampire fangs are doing damage to me. Oh, this might be bad. Oh wait, am I gonna work? Am I gonna win? Oh, nope. I already lost. Okay. I should have taken vampire fangs, I guess. Let's try again. Let's try again. You need to add some retro mortis into the on hold vid. Yeah, I do. Our favorite niche internet e-celeb is back, yeah. Shift click or middle. Yeah, I could do both for sure. With Godot, it should be relatively easy. Allows you to play with the game with one hand, yes. Is the boss also scaled from a distance to start? No, it's not. No, it's not. But it is an interesting idea. If so if you timed it right, you could head closer to the start as you wanted. Maybe need a portrait of the player in the battle scene, thinking about your connection to your player. Maybe not, though. I have to decide on all that because I don't know if I'm going to have different playable characters too. A cow slayed 2 skeletons. Well, it's an ox. I mean, to be fair, it's not just a cow. Okay, defeat that prisoner. Cool. Alchemy, upgrade card. Oh, 2 boosters. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I'm going to hit these 2 boosters and go to that alchemy. There's an alchemy here, though. And the upgrade is actually relatively cheap. Let's just skip this one. We'll skip this alchemy here. And then we'll go to the booster. Let's do ritual cards. Ooh, giant finger. I got to redo the art for the unholy water. Dowsing rod, perfect. Let's do this booster here. Let's do more minions. Mosquito swarm, phoenix, and scarab. Cool. Let's go to alchemy now. What do I want to alchemize? So the dowsing rod doesn't do anything, but it has a 50% crit chance and a 1.5% or 1.5 times critical multiplier. I kind of want to do, let me think. My board is not big enough. Giant finger. I'm going to actually do these. I'm going to see if I can alchemize these together. There we go. Giant finger that's still got its tier 2 and a 50% crit chance. So crit chance affects basically everything. It affects shield, it affects damage. So I could get critical shielding from this. But now I need to increase my board size, so I need to go here. So let's fight this board. There's an arming sword, a chicken, and a prisoner. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to speed up the combat here. I might die. Oh my gosh, the prisoner keeps hitting me. Okay, well, I died. That's okay. I'm going to sacrifice some things. I don't need the mosquito swarm right now, so we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of this. So the way the resurrection works is you can sacrifice cards to resurrect, and then you just pick up right where you left off with full health. Okay. Now I can increase my board size. It's one of those, what do you imagine when you look at this object scenarios? Yeah. Increase board size. I need another board size increase. There's one over here, but I'd have to backtrack. That would incur quite a penalty. I guess we could do the shop. Yeah, I've got enough, so let's do this. We'll do a moderate health increase, and then we'll also go to the shop. What do we got in the shop today? Increased board size. Ooh, another increased board size. Yes, that's perfect. Get that. Now I can put my scarab and my giant finger here. That should give me some survivability. This is a loop. I don't like that. I don't know why that creates loops there. I gotta figure out how to detect that. Anyway. Mutton, villager, stein, wench, chicken 3. Or I could do the artifact route. Yeah, this artifact is cheaper anyway, so we'll go to the artifact. What do we got? Ooh, Basilisk Eye. Exhausts a random enemy minion when combat starts. Let's do it. Okay, max health increase. Let's just take the free one. Alchemy. Do I want to... Ooh, I'm going to try this. Alchemize the phoenix with the scarab. Hopefully I can get a 1x1 scarab with fire. Yes, look at that. That's going to be huge. So I took the Phoenix's abilities, put it on a 1x1 card. So that means it's like way more powerful. Let's upgrade a card. I kind of want to upgrade my shielding. I think my shielding is going to help me quite a bit. Okay. Where to? I've only got 2 more eyeballs to fill. Which means... That's a pretty cheap combat there, 0.56 booster. Do I need a booster? I could use an enchant though. Let's do the booster. Oh, a salamander, viper, and another skeleton. Cool. Can I reach the enchant? We'll see. I might alchemize... Let's alchemize this skeleton with the viper and the salamander. It did not work. Okay. Let's take this one. I have one more move. Let's do it. Enchant card. Let's see, what's this one? Increases critical chance. I kind of want to buff that some more, although this one... Or maybe I'll increase the critical multiplier. Yeah, let's do critical multiplier. So that's got a 2.0 critical multiplier. So that means if it crits, it'll apply 16 shield instead of 8. Okay, so here's the boss now. So I just got thrown into the boss fight automatically. This is the mayor. This is the boss card. It can only appear during a boss fight. This villager is so cute. Okay, this board actually doesn't look that difficult. So let's see what happens. Let's turn down the speed a little bit. So I just applied 20 fire. Ugh, I'm taking damage. 32 shielding, yes. Oh, and I still died. Son of a bee. Oh no, are you serious? Why does this happen? I don't know why this resurrection board doesn't work sometimes. Oh. Huh? Oh, my mouse events are being detected. Ah, that's why. I see. Okay. That's a bug. Mouse events are being detected underneath the resurrection board. So I'm going to need to figure that one out. Why would that be happening? Let's investigate this a little bit. Run manager. Where's my game UI? Here we go. Game UI. Play container, half containers, right half container. That's the resurrection container. But we also have the enemy board container here. This is not... If I make this invisible, is this still going to intercept my mouse events? Okay. Something's weird. Huh. So I put this here. It snaps back for some reason, but then I can like click here. What? Do you see that? Something's very weird. I wish there was hot reloading, because what I would do, I think what I need to do is card mouse events manager. So I need to do is mouse over board. I need to do this. Return is visible in tree and that. So I basically, if I need to not detect mouse, this is mouse over board is kind of a critical way of determining what board I'm hovering over. And if the boards are layered in the scene tree, but one of them is behind another one, I need to, I think one way I can control that is if I just hide it in the scene tree. So if I set the visibility flag to false, then what I can do is in this is mouse over board, I'll just make sure that if it's not visible in the tree, it'll return false always. I think this is a problem. I used to be using the input override for each of the boards, but the problem was each board was trying to detect mouse events like drag and drop, which fragmented a bunch of my logic. So I consolidated that all into this card mouse event manager. So this class here, this class is entirely responsible for dragging and dropping cards between boards and dragging and dropping cards generally. But now I've got situations where, like that one, where I've got boards stacked on top of each other. It's not really order dependent, right? Like, it's just going to detect the first mouse over board, and that's not necessarily going to be related to its position in the scene tree. So, yeah, I'm going to need to fix that. So, because mouse over board is still being detected, fix by toggling visibility of boards that are overlapping. Okay. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish the, well, I might actually be able to. Let's see. Because this drag and drop appears to still be working. Nope. That's so weird. Grab it. Okay. Well, anyway. We're not going to be able to finish that run, but that's okay. I think the balance tweaks that I made are good, though. Is there a minimum amount of cards you need to sacrifice to a resurrect? 2, yeah, it's 2. Looks pretty good to me. Thank you, Craig. What program do you use? Obsidian with the Obsidian Kanban. I hate to break it to you, but I think your UI may be haunted. Really? Why is it haunted? Why is it haunted? Oh, yeah. You're talking about Debug. Yeah, Debug. Shoot. That's what I get for making a Necromancer game. Sounds in theme if you ask me, yeah. Okay, well that's going to be it for the stream today. I actually have something exciting going on. I'm going to be putting together my new PC that I just built this afternoon. So that's going to be a whole ordeal. But I'm going to eat lunch before that and get that done. But I'll be back at the stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you there. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you're enjoying these streams. I hope you're enjoying the progress on the game. I want to, like I said, I'm working this week toward getting a playtest build. Not for publishing, but just so I have it so that I can start working on publishing the build. But again, if you're interested, you could check out my Udemy courses. They're linked in the description below. This one is my newest one, the multiplayer course, which teaches you how to build games in the Godot engine. So if you're wondering, hey, how did I become so good at Godot engine? Well, I may not necessarily answer that question in the courses, but I do share my knowledge with you. So check that out if you're interested. Also, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff helps a lot. And thank you also to the VOD watchers and lurkers out there. I appreciate you all. And what's the specs? It's just a straight upgrade. Latest CPU, latest. I didn't get a new GPU, but latest CPU. I got 8 terabytes of NVMe storage, 64 gigs of RAM. Basically just a straight upgrade across the board. That's it. It's just a very linear, like, oh, get the next best thing. Anyway, install Linux, no regrets. I've had only regrets by playing around with Linux, unfortunately. But anyway, thanks again, everyone. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.